Hello everyone, and welcome to the Red Raptor Writes 1000 subscribers special. Once again, I owe a thanks to everyone who subscribed and takes the time out to watch my content. I put up a Q&A, so be sure to check that out. I put a lot of time and effort into this channel, so I'm glad some people out there enjoy it. So, I've done my list of top 10 favorite video games before. Well, now I'm here to discuss my very favorite movies. There are a lot of them, so I'll need to be very selective. But even then, I need to split this list into two parts because there are just so many of them. Like last time, I'll try to be balanced and keep my list mixed up so you get some variety. If there are movies that are strangely missing, they'll be in the honorable mentions. Doesn't mean I don't love them, but they may have been outdone by another in their series. Placement on this list doesn't necessarily mean one is objectively better than the other. These are all amazing movies. And also, please comment down below what your favorites are and how you feel about my list. Am I a crazy hack? Let me know. So, my 1000 subs, let's dig this up. Alright, so we're starting things off with the critically acclaimed Pulp Fiction, directed by Quentin Tarantino. Wow, that's his first mention on my channel that wasn't a joke. While you can argue that he does have some better movies than this, Pulp Fiction is easily one of the best written movies I've ever watched. Anybody studying screenwriting has to take a look at the dialogue here because, man, it's so mesmerizing. Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta elevate the already great material to new heights. Watching them perform together on screen, it's like magic. I can do without the golden watch section, but aside from that, there's a reason why it's such a film bro movie. For some dumb reason, I only watched Ridley Scott's Gladiator just a few months ago. What is wrong with me? It's one of those movies that I always knew existed but never cared to see until my friend suggested it. Nobody told me it was that good. Gladiator is literally every great Greco-Roman legend wrapped into one epic work. We got Cincinnatus, a heroic general who gives up all his power just to return to his farm, Julius Caesar with the Senate plotting against a tyrant, Ben-Hur with two men as close brothers growing in hatred, and of course Spartacus, an enslaved gladiator who leads a rebellion. It's so beautiful yet epic from beginning to end. Don't make my mistake, watch this movie. Christopher Nolan simply is one of the best filmmakers of our time. Not everything he creates is amazing, but when he has a good day, he has a good day. Inception is not only a fun and creative concept, but an action movie that grabs you by the nards with 3 simultaneously occurring action sequences. On top of all of that is a great story with big mysteries to unravel and a thought-provoking ending. Nobody just watches Inception. You watch an entire movie followed by an hour-long discussion. Even with the very high highs we get here, this won't be the last time we see Nolan's work on this list. Dang, John Carpenter and Kurt Russell make a great team, and there's no better example than The Thing from 1982. This is the ultimate butt clencher, being one of the most suspenseful films I've ever seen. Once you pass the setup, you'll spend the entire time wondering who's been infected by the alien, who's made it into an Antarctic science facility. You never know who to trust, so the paranoia builds and builds and builds with no end in sight. Carpenter brings us some of the most edge-of-your-seat scenes in all of cinema. Even when the credits roll, you're still left in a deep sweat, guessing. You could see how this would inspire
the greatest app of all time.
I have to clarify, this is no joke. The VeggieTales Jonah movie is double Shrekking fantastic. Easily the best explicitly Christian or religious movie yet. Despite being a fun, goofy story told by talking vegetables, Jonah never compromises the book of the Bible it's based on. No, it delivers a hard-hitting message about God's love and mercy and how we should be compassionate towards others, even our enemies. Something Jonah certainly fails at. It's great that, even though Archibald is our lead, the movie never idolizes Jonah. He's still definitely a flawed human being. And actually kind of the bad guy in his own story. Plus, I have to mention all those banger songs that would each be S tier compared to any other animations. Whether you have nostalgia for it or not, Jonah will be a definite sleeper hit. This may have been the greatest theater experience I ever had. This entry takes everything we know and love about Batman, then spins it into the most hilarious comedy I've ever seen. Well, that's not saying much since I'm not a huge fan of comedies, but still. Lego Batman has me dying from before the light even came onto the screen up until the credits end. It's not even just a comedy, but a very well written Batman story where he learns to accept family into his life again. So you'll either get tears from laughter or the actual beauty of it. Who knows? Alfred Hitchcock is a cinematic legend and a master of suspense. While he's received a lot of praise over his works Psycho, Rear Window, and Vertigo, honestly, Rope is his best. This one's about two college students who are so confident in their murder that they throw a party around the corpse in the hopes no one finds it. This instantly adds suspense to whenever anyone gets within a 10-foot radius of the body. There's just built-in butt clenching. Jimmy Stewart is awesome in this, moving away from his slightly awkward bumbling roles to the intellectual and ideological challenge to the students. This is a great one, and to top it all off, it's skillfully woven together in only a handful of shots. If you haven't seen it, please do yourself the favor. The Winter Soldier is, without a doubt, the best thing to come out of the MCU. Thank you, Russo brothers. You basically made this cinematic universe worth it. Captain America is the best, and this is the best Cap movie, so it only makes sense. Winter Soldier is the first big example of seeing the hopeful and optimistic character from a different time, contrasted with the modern world muddled by the morally gray. Here we see a man who served the US and S.H.I.E.L.D. to fight for freedom, only to see those same entities seek more and more control for the sake of our safety. If any movie were to summarize this century, this may be it. We get this great ideological clash that will follow Cap until his conclusion in Endgame. The Winter Soldier is a spy thriller disguised as a superhero blockbuster that succeeds in every way. Jake Gyllenhaal's performance was the only thing that stopped Far From Home from being a bad Spider-Man movie, so imagine what he can do when starring with an actually good screenplay. Nightcrawler is a creepy, funny, suspenseful, yet encouraging movie that leaves your brain as a pile of mush, since we don't know whether we want to root for or hate the crazed protagonist Lou Bloom, an aspiring news professional who sells footage of tragic events. This film takes that concept and uses it to make realistic and comedic commentary on how predatory news organizations can be. For the last edition in part 1, we have The Music Man. And no, not the Matthew Broderick one. I prefer, actual acting.
That's a lot of fish.
Robert Preston and Shirley Jones both do wonderfully in this story about a smooth-talking con man whose schemes bring life back into Gary, Indiana, as this actually caring man improves the lives of everyone around him. Bruh, I love the characterization here. Harold Hill is a wannabe conductor, but could never achieve his dream, so he just pretends to be one. And Marion knows this dude's full of crap, but falls for him anyways since she sees how much he's improving the town. Plus we're getting musical numbers from two of the best professionals from the time. The Music Man is such a classic, although like a lot of musicals at the time, it maybe has one song too many. Shapoopy. Alright, so there's the first half of my top 20 favorite movies. I hope you guys at home enjoyed the list. If you haven't noticed, my tastes can be pretty random, ranging from vegetables to musicals to superheroes. Be sure to stick around for part 2 to see the greatest of the greats, the kinoist of the kino. Gosh, I can't believe I publicly said that. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and check out my social media. See you next time.